The quantum encrypted message arrived at Research Station Kepler, 4:42 at 0300 hours, and Dr. Anachin knew immediately that everything had changed. "Lewis, you need to see this," she said, her voice tight as she stared at the holographic display floating above her workstation. Commander Lewis Park abandoned his coffee and crossed the observation deck in 3 strides. The message hung in the air between them, rendered in the standard Galactic Council script that humanity had painstakingly learned over the past decade since first contact: the species classification, human threat level, Omega quarantine status, immediate a council decision, extermination protocols authorized extermination. Lewis's jaw tightened. "We've been model citizens. We've followed every protocol, every regulation. Read the rest." Anna interrupted, scrolling through the dense alien text. The document detailed humanity's crimes against galactic peace. Not acts of aggression or violence, but something far worse in the eyes of the Council's 847-member species. Humanity had introduced the concept of competitive warfare to a galaxy that had forgotten it existed. 3 months ago, the Council had requested Earth's participation in resolving a border dispute between the Viscian Confederacy and the Vel Collective, 2 species who had been locked in a generations-long stalemate over a mineral-rich asteroid field. The Council's traditional approach involved meditation circles, consensus-building sessions, and carefully worded treaties that satisfied no one but prevented open conflict. Humanity's diplomatic team, led by Ambassador Rodriguez, had proposed something radical: a war game simulation. A completely virtual battle where both sides could test their strategies, command structures, and resolve without a single casualty. The winner would claim the asteroid field. The simulation lasted 6 hours. The Thaxians won decisively, and the Vel Collective accepted the results with grace. The dispute was resolved in less than a week. Compared to the typical century-long negotiations, the Council was horrified. "They're calling it weaponizing conflict," Anna read aloud, her fingers trembling as she navigated through the charges. "They say we've reminded the galaxy that competition and strategic thinking can be applied to warfare, that we've reintroduced predatory patterns to civilized space." Lewis leaned against the console, his mind racing through tactical assessments. Station Kepler, 442 was a research outpost, minimally armed, positioned at the edge of human-controlled space. "If the Council sent their enforcement fleet, the Jacron are coming," Anna said quietly, pulling up a second transmission. "They volunteered to carry out the extermination. Arrival time, 72 hours. The Jacron, the Council's oldest member species, a race of silicon-based warriors who had conquered half the galaxy 12,000 years ago before evolving beyond violence and joining the Council. They were the only species permitted to maintain a military force, for peacekeeping purposes only, of course." Lewis pulled up everything humanity had on the Jacron. Their ships were massive, powered by zero-point energy extraction. Their weapons could crack planets. Their warriors were individually capable of surviving in hard vacuum and had reaction times measured in microseconds that on paper, humanity stood no chance. "We need to evacuate," Anna began, but Lewis was already shaking his head. "No time. And where would we go? They'll hunt every human colony, every station, every ship." He straightened, and Anna saw the shift in his posture, the civilian scientist becoming the former Marine. "But they made a critical error." "What error?" "They're going to exterminate us. They told us they were coming." Lewis's smile was cold. "They gave us 72 hours because they think we're prey. They've forgotten what predators do when cornered." Anna understood immediately. The galaxy had been at peace for 10,000 years. The Council species had evolved into their current forms in an era without existential threats, without selective pressure for combat effectiveness. They'd forgotten the lessons that humanity, emerging from a death world, shaped by millions of years of competition and survival, had learned in their bones. "The Jacron haven't fought a real war in 12 millennia, Anna said slowly. "They're ceremonial warriors, museum pieces. And we just spent the last decade in their archives, learning everything about them." Lewis pulled up the station's quantum ensemble. "Give me a direct line to Earth Fleet Command." "And Anna, start running the war game software we developed for the Viscian simulation." "You want to fight them?" "No," Lewis said. "I want to teach them why Earth produces more strategic simulations, combat scenarios, and tactical innovations in a single year than the entire Galactic Council has in 10,000. Why our children play games that train pattern recognition and strategic thinking. Why we study Sun Tzu and Clausewitz and von Neumann alongside our astrophysics. The ensemble connected. Admiral Okonkwo's face appeared, already grim with knowledge. We received the same message, she said without preamble. The fleet is mobilizing. Admiral, I need you to understand something, Lewis said. The Council is right to fear us. We are the deadliest species in the galaxy, not because we're stronger or faster or smarter, but because we never stopped being predators. We refined it, perfected it. We turned survival into science and warfare into art. Your point, Commander. They started this battle by threatening humanity's existence. But we're going to finish it by showing them exactly what 10 billion years of evolutionary competition creates. He glanced at Anna, who was already feeding scenarios into the simulation engines. We're going to win without firing a shot, by making them realize that fighting us means fighting a species that has spent its entire existence preparing for war, even during peace. Anna's screens filled with data, every Jacron ship configuration, every known tactical doctrine, every historical battle pattern. The simulation began running, and the answer became clear within minutes. They fight with honor, Anna breathed. Predictable formations, ceremonial approaches. They'll announce themselves before attacking. And we, Lewis said quietly, remember that survival doesn't care about honor. Send the full analysis to Fleet Command. Include the recommendation, meet them at the edge of the system. Show them every way we could destroy their fleet without them ever seeing us coming. Every trap, every ambush, every asymmetric advantage. And then we offer them peace. We show them that humanity didn't need to remind the galaxy about warfare. Warfare never left. It just put on better clothes and learned better manners. But cross us, threaten our existence, and we'll show you why Earth didn't join the Galactic Council as students. He looked out at the stars, where the Jacron fleet was burning toward them across the light years. We joined as teachers. The simulation completed its run, 100% success rate for humanity across 10,000 scenarios. The deadliest species in the galaxy had indeed arrived, but they'd forgotten they weren't hunting prey, they'd declared war on the apex predator Dadiindi.